WIBTA if I send my parents to jail? NTA a million times over. Take their asses to court. In the meantime, freeze your credit. Also, your parents failed you. You deserved, and still deserve better. Goddamn. If there's one thing OP does, it's freeze her damn credit. Easy, quick, and free. Then head over to r/personal finance and get some advice from a more specialized crowd. Or head over to a lawyer's office for advice. NTA. This is identity theft. It is going to affect your credit, your ability to obtain certain kinds of work, rental housing, mortgages, student and other loans etc. for a very long time. The longer you let them emotionally blackmail you into not dealing with this, the longer you postpone your own financial stability and security. The odds are very low that your parents will get jail time. You will be dealing with this for years and years to come. The sooner you start coping with it directly, the sooner things will begin to be straightened out. I'm so sorry that this happened. Also, look into getting a PO box or something, so the mail isn't being sent to her parents' house, assuming she still lives there. Also put a freeze on her credit, so it can't be used for further inquiries. Absolutely agree that the longer you let this go on, the longer you will deal with this. Not saying that nothing will happen to your parents, but creditors just want their money and unfortunately your name, even though wrongfully, is tied to it. The parents also won't be able to steal OP's mail if OP gets a PO box. NTA for sending 2 people guilty of fraud to jail. They made their choices and have rationalized it. You've suffered for it and will likely continue to suffer for it since you don't really know the extent. Your sister has likely been victimized too, but they have her convinced that fraud is normal because it's family. BS. Get a lawyer. The extent of it is what worries me. They've basically ruined OP's credit. Who knows what other loans they fraudulently cosigned her on. Going through the only way for her to clear her name. No real other choice, right? There's no way yet to know what else they've done and hidden. Anything OP goes to do is now doomed to fail if they don't hold the parents accountable. So sad. And it's pretty likely that they won't stop if OP doesn't report them. But they will continue to use OP's identity to create more debts. Yup, they will. They are not even embarrassed about it. People this brazen and desperate will just keep on keeping on despite the cost to others. NTA. This is fraud. You need to go online right now and put a credit hold on your SS so that your parents can't take out any loans or sign up for any services which require a credit check in your name. It might be a good idea to contact the various credit bureaus also to find out what your next steps should be. This is probably just the tip of the iceberg. Who knows what else they've done. You're going to need to do some investigating to get yourself out of this financial mess. NTA regards of whether you call the cops on them. They have committed a crime. So if they go to jail, it's because of their actions, not yours. I can understand you are hesitant to press charges against your parents. However, they have committed identity theft and will most likely do it again until your credit rating is ruined. The longer you wait with reporting this, the harder it will be to convince all parties involved that you are not to blame. So this is not only about ensuring they pay for the damages they've done, but also for protecting your identity, credit score and reputation. Might be a good idea to consult with our identity protection services to see if there is any way the debts can be moved to their names without you filing criminal charges against them. There might be some middle ground. Whatever you choose to do, good luck with recovering from this, financially and emotionally. Also, opening someone else's mail w/o their permission is a federal offense in the US, at least. NTA. Have them arrested for identity theft and fraud. This is disgusting behavior. NTA. But you already knew that and don't need a moral judgment. With just a quick browse of r/legaladvis or r/personal finance, you'd find that your parents committing fraud is obviously wrong. They've sacrificed your future for their own personal gain. I think it's crazy that your parents and your sister call you ungrateful and selfish, as I don't think they'd be singing the same tune if they were the ones with stolen identities. You are your own greatest advocate. Start taking steps to reclaim your credit and to disentangle your finances from your parents. I personally would go no contact afterwards until they learned to handle money responsibly and honestly apologized for the years of financial abuse. Please stop recommending legalabis. Half the people are cops and 3/4 are idiots. The rest are not lawyers. Op. Get a real lawyer. NTA. This is way too much for a did to handle. And once you have the time, check out some therapy. You sound like you need it after decades of shit. Indeed. Legal advice is good for knowing if you need a lawyer and what kind. But aside from that, it's just bad advice with some good tree law reading from time to time. It's not even good for that. If you cruise through r/bad legalabis, you'll find plenty of examples of r/legalabis discouraging people from contacting lawyers when they actually have good cases. That sub should have been banned years ago. Not only do they give out bad legal advice, but they actively discourage people from seeking real legal counsel and the mods, none of whom are lawyers, also viciously suppress any opinions they don't agree with, even when those opinions are actually correct and coming from real lawyers. fr/legalabis. I'm glad the tides of public opinion are finally turning against it. I doubt a real lawyer would bother with those forums, because lawyers are restricted from giving legal advice that way. Also, why would you work all day and come home to your hobby of giving free legal advice in a jurisdiction in which you have no knowledge? NTA. Please protect yourself and your future. Their blatant disregard for you is disgusting. It doesn't matter if they are elderly and your parents. They don't deserve the title of family. Please go to the courts and get help. They will ruin you. NTA. Take every step you can to clear your name. If your parents end up in legal trouble for breaking the law, that's on them, not on you. I also recommend you stop contact with your sister. Also going to add that your parents will almost certainly not go to jail. They'll get some sort of probation and probably be required to enter debt counseling or something. It's possible they'd be ordered to repay what they essentially stole from you as well. But whatever happens, prison is a very unlikely outcome. So do what you must and get yourself clear and free. They don't get to ruin your life. My birth mom had thousands of debts illegally in my name and she didn't get any jail time. I'm not sure what consequences she faced because I was not living with her at the time. But I know she didn't go to jail. NTA. The many reasons why they should go to jail. 1. Your parents are criminals. 2. They have committed identity theft. 3. They have committed fraud. 4. They illegally opened your mail. 5. They forged your signature. 6. They are stealing from you. 7. They've destroyed your credit. 8. They can bankrupt you. 9. They don't care how much they've hurt you. 10. They are not remorseful. 11. They continue to commit the crimes. Your parents are horrible people. The only way to fix your credit and finances is to call the police and get a lawyer. They will try to manipulate and guilt you to not do this. But everything they say is a lie. They only care that they got caught. You are only an ATM. Please file charges as soon as possible and go no contact with them. NTA. They committed fraud using your name, credit and salary. Call a lawyer post haste. NTA. NTA at all. They are effectively ruining your life. You don't owe them anything. Report them and try to get your debt cleared. I hope it works out for you. I really do. You know what? I used to work in the billing department for a cable/telephone/internet provider and I would regularly have kids call in with the same problem. They couldn't get services or had bad credit because their parents put something in their name, ran up the charges and bailed. Generally in your position, when it comes to reporting this to the police, most people are like, how can I do that to my parents? My response is, how could they do this to you? NTA. Brace yourself for the repercussions and march down to the police and file a report. If you don't stop this now, it will only get worse. Take care of yourself. Because your family obviously won't. Not just doing this to Op, but he's at the age where a lot of people get married and have children. His parents are stealing from his children. Op, can you imagine doing this to your child? Especially for frivolous purchases. Press charges against them for their actions. It's the only way you will be able to have a chance to recover from this. NTA. What they did is a felony and they didn't even apologize. NTA. If you let them do this, they will keep doing this. I mean, you already know they will keep doing this from history. You should be locking down your identity ASAP. Head to r/personalfin and switch JAS, great resources for that. Even if you do not pursue this with the police, you need to make it impossible for them to do that again. I'm not a lawyer, so it asks somewhere else, r/legalivis, but your jurisdiction will determine what happens to them. I would hazard a guess it would not be jail time, but again, I'm not a lawyer. NTA. If you don't stop it now, they will ruin your financial future for decades. Get it resolved now legally, or forever know your financial future is effed up. They probably won't go to jail. NTA to try and fix your financial issues.